My place in the universe is a small stretch of road between my domain and my grandmother's residence, with the overcast shining its opaque shadow in the atmosphere, and the sweet dew on green leaves simmering as they transpire into a light fog. Such is the first step outside my door. The road that separates me from my destination of warm memories is approximately 3.7 kilometers. On average, it takes 1,800 seconds, 4,048 steps. With each step, there's probably a glance or two at the street, or flowers, or birds, even the person in front of you. Eventually, this small stretch of road adds up to its own universe. It has its own ecosystem, its own geology, chemistry, physical laws.
So why would such a small stretch of road mean anything to anyone? Is it because it's an amazing feat of civil engineering that gets someone from point A to point B? Or is it because they're thinking about what they're going to do when they get to grandma's? In any case, someone walking this road might spend the entire time trying to remember whether they left the stove on or not, and debating whether or not to go back.
I do it because it is the only opportunity granted to me by my inability to drive a car, or phobia to do so, to think about nothing preceding or ahead of that moment in time. Cool. I don't think about Grandma, and I don't think about the stove, thanks to my ability to pre-plan. I think of other things. When I walk in the calm of the early morning, I can do anything. I can travel on a beam of light, or I can cease to exist. I can even be in two places at once. I can exist on the other side of the planet and mimic my own actions on the road, and then I can proceed to ask why. Sometimes I can come up with answers, or at least a well-developed model describing the relationship between said phenomena. And sometimes I can't. In truth, the path that I travel every Saturday morning is more logical than any form of code and more beautiful than any poem. This could just be an association of thoughts and memories on the physical road. Call it escapism, it doesn't matter. The point is that space is irrelevant, or rather, in an environment of this importance, it transcends the physical form, and all one is left with is time. I have chosen to live my life in hertz, or at least I can afford to do so when I'm walking this path. The future, the past, and the present exist along one axis, and all I can do is move forward in an indeterminably cyclic motion. I am free in one confined area, and this road that I travel becomes as infinite as space and eternal as time. It's almost as if the road is a fractal in the grand structure of the universe, and its wonders forever perpetuating into itself, and all the while it culminates to a single conclusion. It would be disappointing to say that conclusion was grandmother's house. Don't get me wrong, it's worth the effort walking from any distance to taste her cooking. But her cooking is never my objective.
I think my objective is to have lived and discovered a universe. To have discovered a road walked 100 times. To find a universe in the small, insignificant details. A universe in me.